Hey, what is going on, crypto people? What if your XRP could finally earn real sustainable yield without selling, without inflation, and without centralized middlemen? That's what Flared Networks and Firelight are unlocking, I want to say right now. With just a few clicks, XRP becomes FXRP, which then becomes ST for stake XRP, an asset that works for you. Institutions are already moving in. Billions in capital are lining up. Billions with a B. This could be XRP's most important utility unlock ever. And it's just the beginning. Let's get into it. Happy freaking, I don't know, I think it's Saturday. It might be Saturday for some of you folks out there. It might be freaking Saturday. It's 11 something in the evening Central Time. It might be Saturday where some of you guys are hanging out. Pat LaRoche is in the building. I just saw a video of you, my friend. I just saw a video of you being interviewed. I think I have it saved. I was gonna share it. I was hoping you were gonna check in. Hope all is well. Matt LaRoche says, yeah, Saturday over here for sure. How are you, bro? Appreciate you checking in. Look, Blair Networks is unleashing some stuff that I think people are just that they're just not quite getting it, and they're unleashing it for XRP holders. I saw some interesting post on X from this dude called Floth has some concern about FLR holders. So we're gonna get into that. I think it's I get the concern, but it's too early for that, in my opinion, for this concern about the FLR token. Remember, for me, the idea behind it all is unlocking the utility, this $1 billion, $120 billion monster that is the XRPL or in the asset XRP. That is the deal. You can work on tokenomics as you go further and further, further and further along. But in my opinion, we got to create network adoption. Matt LaRose says, yeah, thanks, man. Fortnightly, usually, that's my works. That's my works YouTube channel. Oh, okay. I got you, my friend. I got you. Yeah, I saw you on there. Someone just posted that. But yeah, you were talking about XRP and kind of the connections with the central banks and other things like that. So yeah, it was good to see you, my friend. Miguel Castillo, what's up, bro? Feels good to be in the crypto market. Indeed, it does. I mean, XRP is kind of going cray cray right now. I don't even know. Again, we're going to get into that as well. Um, yeah, we're going to get into that. I mean, yeah, yeah. All this unlocks makes it very, very painful that I lost all that XRP in Celsius network. But hey, it is what it is. I got to tell you though, oh, goodness gracious, what's going on in that XRPL ecosystem is going to be something. It's going to be something. We'll see if it will equate to XRP holders value. We'll see if that happens. We're going to see. I'm going to be here for it no matter what. We're going to be here for it no matter what. So listen, we got to go with the numbers. We got to go with the market. I mean, the market may be doing what the market does. I don't know. The market might be doing a little something, a little something different this time. It's crazy. One thing I love about my doing the YouTube channel is I get to kind of be like my younger self. I get to be a little bit more like my younger self. Uh, the not the professional air traffic controller or business guy. I can be kind of like my other self, which is fun. All right, so I'm refreshing CoinGecko um, just to get those numbers. Let's go over these numbers real quick. Let some people check in. Go with these numbers. I appreciate you guys hanging out in the wee hours of the morning. Pookie, it might be the wee hours of the morning for you, my friend, huh? Wee hours of the morning. What happened to the stream there? Appreciate you guys being here. Matt LaRose says, respect to you, man. Remembering everything you want to say and maintaining all the connections is pretty damn hard. You flow the info so well. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Matt. Pookie, I'm here for it, CJ. Yeah, man, it's an interesting time. It really is. Guys, hit that like button on the way, and that'd be really cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. I'm going to share real quick, let some people hop in to the live stream. I'm doing like a little jungle. I'm doing like a little Jungle Inc. content. Jungle be posting them videos. I don't know when he records them, but he be posting them in the like 12 o'clock my time, I think. Pay me in XRP here in the count of four. You tried to sneak one past me tonight, CJ. You ain't slick. That's funny. That is funny. All right, so let's get into this. Let's see. Let's go over to CoinGecko. According to CoinGecko, the total cryptocurrency market cap is really down 2.5% in the last 25 hours, 24 hours. Really, it's at 3.76 trillion. And the Bitcoin dominance. Let's get the update. The live Bitcoin dominance. Let's see. We get below 64%. Let me refresh that. Did we get below 64%? I will be rotating some Bitcoin, not financial advice, just kind of share what I'll be doing. I'll be rotating some 3%, 5% into XRP. Not quite yet. Not quite yet. 64%. So that's live. That is right. Correct. All right. So we don't have quite the alt season yet. It is nice to see a little move, though. Bitcoin is trading at 117,830. I think I saw it as high as $118,000 today. Bitcoin is up 9% on the 30-day. Ethereum is right at $3,000, 2,965 to be exact. On the 30-day, Ethereum is up 7%. XRP is trading at $2.80. On the 30-day, XRP is up 24.5%. Solana is trading at $163, and on the 30-day, it's up 2%. Interesting. Yeah, maybe it's anyway. Interesting. Dogecoin is trading at 20 cents on a 30-day. It's up 7%. And the beloved I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Stellar Lumens. I don't know what's going on with Stellar Lumens. Stellar Lumens is just crazy right now. Up 42% on a 30-day is Stellar Lumens. Another Celsius Network L had tens of thousands of Stellar Lumens gone. So the beloved SWE is trading at $3.44 on the 30-day. It is down 3%, up 3%, I should say. That is the market, fam, and the market is doing what the market does. Let me share a couple of things here from Firelight. I think people are not quite understanding. Again, if you want to know what it is that you hold, highly recommend you go to Flare Networks and go to that community call and listen to that community call. Recent community call, a day or 2 or 3 or so ago, maybe 2 days ago, maybe 2. Highly recommend you check it in. Hugo was on there. Quantic was kind of running and hosting it. Thanos was on there. And I believe the people from SparkDex were on there as well. Hugo talked really good things about Vivo Power and Firelight. I'm telling you, Firelight is a game changer. And that's just the first one in line. Crazy. So Firelight's here posts. We are unlocking XRP's potential without locking it up. Nice. Rolled out over 2 phases. Phase 1, earn rewards plus Firelight points while keeping your stXRP liquid and usable across Flare Network's DeFi ecosystem. Phase 2, secure the SSNs and earn. Pick a vault to fit your risk preference. I got to tell you. Now, this is signing up for this Firelight is coming out here shortly, the 14th, at some kind of crazy time UTC, which is interesting. Matt, you want to hope to be in the first 1,000 to get some, to possibly get some extra rewards for being early. Let me see if I have it. Why would that not be there? Oh, there it is right there. Yeah. Uh, yeah. 3 p.m. UTC. What time is that? On the 14th of July, 3 p.m. UTC. Yeah. Hop on that wait list. That's going to be interesting for sure. Uh, yeah. This is a big deal. And if you listen to the community call, let me know if you'd like me to play bits of it for you. I can. Um, the Flare community call. Firelight is not just about staking. It's going to be an all include. It's like going to be like an all inclusive DeFi yield, TradFi esque opportunities, TradFi esque opportunities for people in the community. So institutions are without question are going to love it. Retail is going to love it. Properly allocated, not 100% of your stuff, but proper allocation is going to be a really big deal. Absolutely, really big deal. So here it is. XRP community, institutional grade liquid staking is almost here. Join our wait list for boosted foundational Firelight points. Doing a little Camino deal here. Camino Finance, they do the points thing. Join our wait list for boosted foundational Firelight points plus a flame bearer role on Discord. Unlocking exclusive access to Alpha Lab. Interesting. That's my guy over in virtuals with does this Alpha Lab thing. Interesting. Set your alarms. The link will be available on Discord first. On Discord first. I shared this before. Let me share this again real quick. Little video. Let me let's go here. Vaults, deposit, withdrawals. Got some FXRP there. Deposit and stake. Yeah, that looks cool. FXRP, Firelight points. Yeah, so interesting. That's kind of a good first look for what it's going to look like there. I'm definitely excited about it. I feel blessed. Like, how blessed are we to be early? I say it all the time, to be early adopters in this new asset class that is the digital asset space. And I say this all the time because I've been to, I used to do a lot of airdrop farming. When you can get early to an ecosystem, right? You get early to a DApps, get early to a next level layer one blockchain and be there early, the good, the bad, ups and downs. And if the DApp that is on this next level layer one blockchain, if it's worth its salt, if it figures it out, it could be a game changer for you. So I think SparkDex, I think Firelight, these can be game changers because you're early to them, and you get to help them grow. And the fact of the matter is, the ones launching today, these DApps, they've learned from the mistakes from 2020 DApps and 2017 DApps. So I see they learned. And so if we're here and we're willing to stick in it and stick through it, this is our shot. For me, I feel like this is our shot. And you got to be, fully immersed in the ecosystem. It's 10 a.m. What time? Central or 10 a.m.? Central or Eastern time? Pookie Pookie. Pay me an XRP. Uh, what's going on, Pookie Pookie? Loving that. Pay me an XRP says I'm a Flare supporter and have been here since day one. But I have to admit, I've been disappointed with the FLR price action this far, even with the BTC hitting all-time highs and alts running and has yet to do much. Yep, very true. Very true. And for me, I liking it to the Casper token, the Casper blockchain in its path. If you chart that out and you take a look at that, I kind of liken it to that. Different tokenomics, sure. Um, Flare is doing something to grow the ecosystem. So there's inflation for sure. Flare drops ended. Now we have a new thing with F asset participation. It's a long term goal. I don't know how much price appreciation we're really gonna have uh, this cycle. I'm not really sure, honestly. A lot is gonna. We'll know a lot in January, right? I think we'll know a lot because what something's ending in January, but again, we got the F asset incentive now, right? So, but anyway, maybe not. Maybe it's not in January any longer. I don't forget. But so I don't know what price appreciation is going to do for FLR token this cycle. I don't know. I really don't. Um, the version 1.1 in this ecosystem is one thing, but version 2.0 is going to be another thing. And with the change in collateral dynamics, it's really really hard to say what it's going to look like. I know Hugo is pondering some different things, and we're going to get into that conversation with this Floft guy on X as well. Kind of sharing some concerns like you have as well, Payment XRP. But I think for me, it's about building out the ecosystem. And what do you think the number percentage wise FLR holders and XRP holders? I think what maybe 70% of FLR holders, if not more, are XRP holders. And right now, Flare Networks is building out a thing to bring value and unlock this crazy liquidity for XRP. Think about that. Um, that says a lot about what they're looking to do. And XRP is just a start. And just, the other part of this as well is remember that F assets is, Chico stated that that was probably going to be the least impactful thing that Flare brings. Just think about that. So that says a lot. That says a lot. So it's going to be hard to say what's going to happen with the price. I want to see the ecosystem grow. Firelight is the start. Vivo Power choosing to do its thing on Flare Network says a lot. And Vivo Power, quite honestly, was impressed with the partnerships lined up with Flare. So we only know what we know. Firelight is going to be the first one, and institutions are going to churn. I believe they're going to pop up, and Firelight's going to be announcing this one's using Firelight, and that one's using Firelight um, again, and we'll have to see what that's going to mean for the FLR token itself. Um, but I think let this project grow and grow the ecosystem around it and work out the tokenomics um, when they can. Speculation is still going to kind of be there. Obviously, the market is still kind of speculation driven, and we'll see. Besides liquidity pairs, what you can do with that FLR. But I like the approach that they're taking. We'll see. Pokey Pookie says I have faith in Hugo. Yeah, I think they're gonna figure it out, right? Matt LaRoche says I see FLR price action as having sell pressure with the monthly drops, right? Please not really wanting people not really wanting to participate, dumping their tokens, but the monthlies stop January 26th, and then collateralizations, yeah, and then but they're going to be changing that collateralization with the latest versions for the F assets. So that's gonna be interesting to see how that's all going to work. It creates buy pressure, yeah. So it's gonna be interesting to see how it all plays out. I'm gonna share that post from this dude as well. But I tell you guys, don't sleep on Spark Decks. Not financial advice, but Spark Decks. So you got Firelight and Spark Decks. Um, Spark Decks is get ready to have an IDO. Then they're gonna have kind of the TGE. And I think when you can find a DEX that can do some stuff on a layer one blockchain, a next level layer one blockchain, they tend to do well. I think of the Jupe token, the Jupiter Exchange token on Solana, and I think SparkDex is going to head in that direction and perhaps have that same type of trajectory. Don't know. Uh, but they get to kind of learn, right, from what Jupiter did and maybe what Radium did and maybe what Orca did. They get to learn and see. But they're on Flare networks, and there's some value to being on this particular blockchain with these enshrined protocols. So it's going to be interesting to see. The public, I guess, the public FDV um, is going to be 1 cent, 10 million FDV. That's not bad. That's not bad. 10 million. So I think that's really pretty good. So that's going to be interesting. I know I'm going to get some, turn some of that dirty, nasty fiat into a token that I believe and a project that I believe is going to do some awesome things. SparkDeck's going to have a launch pad on there. They got perps for people outside of the US already, um, things like that. So, yeah, I think it's going to be interesting. Matt LaRoche says, my goal with FLR was to accumulate as much as I could, um, that the rewards and yields, etc., would create a basic wage. Yep. While they're in distribution phase, I'll take as many as they'll give me. I hear you, my friend. Yeah. Yeah, that is a great it's a great strategy as well because listen, I'm telling you right now, the fact that they got this next 2 billion, that's just a nice number. They might not dish out that many, um, all 2 billion, I should say. But the fact that they're doing it for participation in kind of like the F asset ecosystem, I think it's very, very smart, and I think it's going to pay dividends long term for sure. So I will be participating in minting and providing liquidity on SparkDex and lending on Kinetic and borrowing against that lend, just participating there, right? All with proper allocation and doing my part to help the ecosystem grow. I think that Flare, the chain with these enshrined protocols, is in its own lane, doing its own thing, and I think the really, really, really smart people see it. And yeah, it's going to be one of those things. I say I'm going to say this again. I really do believe that Flare Networks is becoming the promise of what Ethereum hoped to be. That's kind of how I see it. That stuff takes time. Yeah, building out a next level layer one blockchain, yeah, takes some time. Philippines, what's going on, Philippines? How are you, my friend? Appreciate you checking in. I don't think I've seen you check in before. Flare is a hidden gem, monster in the making. XRP holders from here from 2017. Nice. Smart money knows, indeed. And so, we only have the cycle that we're in. Um, for sure. But if we have an asset that we can hold through the bear and we can still be in liquidity pools and still earning rewards and all of that through the bear, and the whole deal really right now is, can you get an asset to make an all time, right? To have two cycles in which it makes a new all time high. That's going to be the thing, right? So what do we got? 15 cent right now for FLR, right? That's the all time high, technically, 15 cents. Um, can it get through the upcoming bear? I know people think there ain't going to be a bear market. Uh, right? Can you get through the upcoming bear, and can you make a new all-time high in the upcoming, not this cycle, the upcoming cycle? So that's kind of really the key. And for me, in order to do that, you got to have an ecosystem that people want to participate in. You got to have a chain and dApps that institutions want to come onto and hop onto. So Vivo Power, 100 million, putting that on the on for the networks is awesome. And we're going to see what institutions Firelight is going to attract into this ecosystem. Um, Remember, the Flare community call, Hugo said he's in constant conversations with institutions that have billions upon billions of dollars of XRP, just kind of hanging out, and they want to be able to do something with it, you know. So whether the allocation is 1%, 2%, 5%, maybe as high as 7%, all these things are awesome, right? And word gets out, right? One institution comes, then another one comes, and these things are going to be again great for XRP holders. And I think if you're smart, if you're holding the native asset for a chain that people are hopping on, look, this approach that Flint Networks is doing by unlocking this, liquidity for non-smart contract tokens, I think it's just a smart move. I think it's really, really smart. And so we'll have to see how it plays out. We got to see how the chain is going to handle things, all that kind of stuff like that. But, we're here for it. We're here for it early. And, those guys over there are not going to stop. They're going to keep building. And, with the TEEs and the protocol managed wallets, it's a, it's a different animal. I really do. So I really do. Miguel Castillo says, swap most of my Flare for XRP when it went to 5 cents. Gotcha. Did very well. Since XRP went up in price, have bought back Flare. Very nice. Very nice. I hear you, Miguel. I hear you. I hear you. I'm going to be rotating some BTC and XRP. Um, I'm sticking with my price of $12 to $26 for XRP. That's just me. That was been my price. I know it's a big range, because I just couldn't really figure out if I was going to do it from that dollar something price that we got in 2021, or if I was going to do it from the $3.84, depending on who you ask, all time high for XRP. So I'm still looking somewhere between $12 and $26. I have no clue what it's going to get to, but that's kind of what I've been looking at, for sure. Carl Billy's is in the building. What's going on, my friend? So, you know, we'll see. So I wanted to let you guys know about those two with Firelight for sure. Please understand that's going to be a big deal. Let me get this Flare Networks thing for you guys. Highly recommend. Do like my guy Pookie Pookie. Listen to this community call as often as you possibly can. Oh, let me share this real quick. XRP yieldless nature equals massive untapped capital pool. Let me share this. Take a listen to this. This is from the community call. I'm gonna need to let me do this. Stop the share. Share. Share the sound. Um
free rate, right? You're simply just holding the asset. So the hurdle rate all of a sudden is 0%. Today, no one, how or why is this possible? Well, if you think about capital as a whole within finance and DeFi, there's really this thing that sticks in most financial managers' minds, which is rate, right? So when you have the US dollar and you're looking at yields and you're like, well, this specific stock can return me, let's say, 6%. But if the treasury yield, how or why is this possible? Well, if you think about capital as a whole within finance and DeFi, there's really this thing that sticks in most financial managers' minds, which is the risk-free rate, right? So when you have the US dollar and you're looking at yields and you're like, well, this specific stock can return me, let's say, 6%. But if the treasury yield or the risk-free rate, which is generally the 10-year treasury, is returning you 4%, your risk to reward ratio is essentially you're only earning 2% over the specific treasury or the 10-year, right? With XRP, there is no risk-free rate, right? You're simply just holding the asset. So the hurdle rate all of a sudden is 0%. Today, no one earns anything on XRP. So when you introduce yield to it, there's essentially a competitive barrier that we have for percentages that we're willing to deliver back to XRP, that functionally any other assets in crypto generally don't have, especially if they have native staking, right? So if you're deploying ETH today or you're deploying Solana today, there's a set amount of staking yield that you earn. So if you're deploying it anywhere as a capital asset, you have to earn at a minimum that staking rate or more, right? With XRP, there is no staking rate, it's just zero. So all of a sudden, we're unlocking a capital asset that has a risk free rate of today, which is zero, right? Obviously, to earn some yield, there's risk involved, right? Like there's some risk, but obviously you can hedge those things, etc. But nonetheless, that's generally how I think about Flare as an ecosystem. We're unlocking capital that has a risk free rate of zero today.
That is that's pretty good.
How or why is
Really,
this
really
possible? Well,
cool.
if you think about capital
Um,
as a whole within
I think the
finance
reason why
and
ETH is gonna
DeFi,
start doing some things is because of the
there's
staking
there's
nature.
really this
And
this thing that
I
sticks in most
believe
financial
that
managers'
people
minds,
on
which
the
is the
inside
risk-free
know
rate,
that
right?
these
So when you
ETFs are going to
have
have
the
a
US
staking
dollar
nature to them.
and you're looking at yields and you're
It's
like, well,
coming.
this specific stock can
Why?
return me,
Because
let's say,
Wall Street wants it.
6%.
So
But if
it's
the
going to
treasury
happen. The
yield or the
BlackRocks of the
risk-free
world,
rate,
that's going to happen. They're
which is
gonna make that
generally the
ETFs
10-year treasury is
eventually
returning you
have the
4%,
staking
your risk to
nature
reward
to
ratio is
them,
essentially you're only
for
earning
sure.
2% over
Um,
the
the awesome
specific
thing
treasury or the
about this with
10-year, right?
XRP,
With XRP,
it's
there
such
is
a
no risk-free rate,
over
right?
6 million
You're simply just
kind of
holding the
holders.
asset.
It's
So the
such a
hurdle rate all of a sudden
massive
is 0%.
unlocked
Today, no one
potential
earns
there,
anything on
and
XRP.
people
So
are
when you
clamoring for
introduce yield
sure.
to it,
And
there's
for people
essentially a
who were
competitive
fortunate
barrier
enough
that we
to
have for percentages
not
that
lose their
we're
XRP,
willing to deliver back to
this is
XRP,
it's going to
that
make a
functionally
ton
any other
of
assets in crypto generally don't have,
the new 1%.
especially if they have
It's going to
native
be really,
staking, right?
really exciting. Let me find this community
So
call. That was just a snippet of it, so I can put it in the chat for you guys. I might just have to go to Flare. I went over the recap. Here it is here. No, that's Pierce's. That's Pierce's. Here it is. Huh. I don't know what that's odd. Uh, put that in the chat for you guys. Highly recommend you listen to that thing at least two times. They really get the big picture. He was talking about, these institutions with billions of dollars of XRP. He threw a little alpha out there that he's possibly considering XLM because of um, the institutions are clamoring kind of at the same level that they have been clamoring to do something with their XRP. They're doing that kind of thing for XLM. Hmm. Interesting. So Philippines says, I agree with your previous statement that the XRP EVM sidechain is just a band-aid. XRP EVM sidechain is silo liquidity. Flare will unify DeFi liquidity, something the XRP EVM sidechain can't do. Yeah, I hear you. The crypto occult says still need 1.3 for one to stake in Firelight. I don't know what the thing's going to be for Firelight, my friend. I don't know. Um, where do you get this 1.3 for one thing from? I've never seen that or heard that before. Guys, do me a favor, hit that like button. That'd be really cool. Really awesome. Institutional grade staking, and it's going to be some other things to do. The vaults is going to be a very interesting thing. It's going to be really interesting to see what that's going to look like. That's going to certainly help those folks who, are kind of a little afraid of DeFi. First thing they think DeFi, they think impermanent loss. These type of things. So these vaults are going to be very interesting. I'm certain they're going to be popular. People are going to pay that little fee, whatever that fee is, to manage those vaults and kind of let the platform kind of do strategies for them. Who knows what's going to be all in those vaults in terms of strategies? It's very similar to Solana. If you look into the Solana ecosystem and you go over to Camino Finance, they have a lot of these type vault strategies. I was in one or two of them myself. Oh, you said Crypto Acosta said that was the required collateral for some reason. Yeah, I don't know what it's going to be for Firelight and stuff like that. For the staking there, not sure. The minting the FXRP thing and how that's going to work with collateral for this version of F assets is one thing, but they are moving to version 2.0. My understanding is that collateral dynamic is no longer going to be the case with these protocol managed wallets and these TEEs. So we'll have to see what that ultimately is going to look like. But I just can't. I mean, just think about this, guys. XRP, you meant it to bridge it over for FXRP. You're going to be able to stake that FXRP and you get this liquid token. And with this liquid token, you can begin to earn, in addition to the staking, now you can take it into DeFi primitives or DeFi protocols and earn more yield on that, right? Even if it's just merely taking an liquid stake in XRP and just lending it, right? Which is not staking, it's lending it so that liquidity providers can have liquidity to get into DeFi pools. Just lending it, you're going to earn a percentage there as well, right? So think about that. It's yield on yield. And then if you feel like you're a little savvy and you want to borrow against that liquid staking token, you can borrow that. And there's strategies for lending and borrowing as well. Think about it. That is really cool. Really, really cool to be able to do that. I do that with Solana, right? A lot of people do things with Ethereum. I like doing things with Solana and Sui. I do it in those places there. Borrow, lend and borrow against it, go into liquidity pools, right? All these different things. And that's going to be available for XRP holders. And again, not 100% of your stuff. You don't want to be at what 100. All of my Solana is not in DeFi. All of my Sui is not in DeFi. All of my Bitcoin is not in DeFi, right? It's just percentage, small percentages, right? Until you get more comfortable. Maybe you want to up the percentages after you get comfortable. But you don't chase the game, like we like to say, Matt LaRoche. We don't chase the game. We let the game come to us, right? And so now Aave, they kind of proven themselves out. So I can lend a little more, BTC over there, right? Um, but other things, Flynn Networks ecosystem is awesome, but it's new, baby. It's new. New. You don't want to be putting all your stuff. You want to put all your stuff over there. It's new. There's going to be kinks and bugs and all. You just need to test it out a little. A little some percent. Test it out a little 1%, little half percent. Test it out. I started out in DeFi, $50, man. $50 just starting out. Right. So I wish I would have taken that approach with what I thought was the safe thing with Celsius, but didn't do that. So yeah, so it's gonna be interesting to see. This XRP thing, I just gotta tell you, I don't know. But when you're talking what Ripple is doing with this bank charter and this master account, BNY Mellon, who summed that up? Uphold. Let me get this little uphold post from my XRP fam in here. That was an interesting thing. Let me find it first, and then I'll share it. Little interesting thing from Uphold. Let's see. I don't know where I kept it though. Oh, there you are, Matt LaRoche. Mr. Man shared you hanging out with Chris Topper. Yeah, that's what you said. Topper Tipper. Where's my Uphold thing? Did I save it in? Let's see, might have saved it in a repo. What is going on? They just put something out and I don't see it here either. My gosh, let me search. Let me search Uphold. Yep. Oh, there it is. Hold on a second, guys. What happened here? Where's my Zoom? Yeah, I found it. Uphold. I found their page anyway. Let me find this post. June 20th? What? Get 4% XRP back for every paycheck linked direct deposit of $250 or more. Really? Interesting. Yeah, their XRP report from the week, Matt LaRoche. Let's check this out here. Here's your, this is from Uphold. Here's your XRP report for the week. Ripple applies for the United States banking license. Ripple is making bold regulatory moves with this application for a United States national bank charter. A Fed master account application is also underway, aiming to cement Ripple's role at the core of the United States finance. These moves could set a precedent for full federal oversight of crypto native financial institutions. BNY Mellon to custody RLUSD reserves. Ripple selected BNY Mellon to custody cash and T-bills, backing its stablecoin RLUSD. BNY, America's oldest bank, oversees 52 trillion in assets and will manage Ripple dollars stablecoin safekeeping and liquidity. Ripple dollars surpassed 500 million in circulation, $500 million in circulation, just 7 months post-launch, adding blue chip credibility to Ripple's stablecoin strategy. Big picture, says Uphold. Ripple continues to lean into United States regulation, not away from it. Said a testimony from Brad Garlinghouse emphasized blockchain's transparency, first design over legacy regulation. Crypto isn't resisting the system, it's rebuilding it on chain. 100%. That's exactly it. Market watch, XRP breaks out above resistance. XRP is trading at $2.82 with a weekly gain of 8.5, right? Broke out of a multi-month symmetrical triangle, resistance at $2.34 cleared. Analysts now eye 260 as the next major level. Well, we got past 260. So what's next? What say you, Uphold? We got past 2060. I think we got as high as 2080 84 cents, something like that. Technicals, positive TSI cross. Okay, awesome. Parabolic SRR flip. Okay, awesome. XRP remains one of the most held altcoins among long-term investors. Is Ripple setting the tone for the next era of U.S. crypto regulation? Yeah. Well, definitely. They are doing that for sure. And it's a long-term hold. It's a long-term plan for people who are patient. I think they're going to be rewarded handsomely. Now we got two different takes on why the price rise for XRP. Crypto Eddie kind of reported that it was Korea on this particular exchange. I think it's Upbit. Someone else was saying it was ODL. In the end, it doesn't really matter. Like it really, really doesn't matter. In the end, we got a couple of things. We want XRP holders to be able to benefit and use their XRP, earn yield on it, that type of thing. Flare Networks is bringing that. And Matt LaRoche, I said this on my last few live streams, every single live stream. People can do things on the XRPL, EVM sidechain if they want. But for me and my XRP, it will be, and when it comes to DeFi, it will be by way of Flare Networks. I'm going to kind of be participating there for sure. Small allocations in the beginning at first. Like I said, don't chase the game, let the game come to you. But for me and my XRP, I won't be doing a lot of EVM sidechain stuff. I might have if Moy Finance kind of handled things differently, but they just didn't, unfortunately. So uh, yeah, I'll be using my XRP on Flow Networks for sure. So and to be honest with you guys, do me a favor and hit that like button. That'd be really really cool. We always like to have just as many likes as we got viewers in the stream. We got to let people know about this new financial system that's being built right underneath their nose. They don't know. Like, they don't know. It's crazy. They don't know. I had a commercial banker, like crypto. Oh my God, I'm staying away from that. Like, bro, BlackRock isn't, Fidelity isn't, Franklin Templeton isn't. Maybe you want to check with them. Like, what are you talking about? J.R.R. Alcorta is here. What's going on, brother? XRP preacher. I feel like it's been a minute since I've seen you, bro. What's good? Let's go, bro. XRP to standard. So blessed to be early here. Real XRP 90% bucket and right on the borderline of the Mag 7. It's tippy toeing up to the Mag 7. The Mag 7, that asset that you can hold through the bear. You got to check Kagers. You got to check the IRR. You got to hop on into the cryptoverse and see what the kind of returns it is for just DCAing. You got to know this. But if he gets those Kager numbers, the Kager, right? Like Bitcoin's Kager is 55%. That's really good. Right. And so we want to, get to that Mag 7 right now. We got Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana in the Mag 7. The Mag 7. Right? XRP, we're kind of like this cycle, I think just a new all-time high, get 2 to 3x from $3.84. You got XRP Fi on Flared Networks. You can be earning more, rewards, and hopefully it's going to be more XRP eventually along the lines. It's going to be awesome. Joe Buddy says, sup, ball. $3 XRP and Daddy's getting himself a solar panel, a solar power system. Nice, man. Nice. I hope you are you got all the stuff set up already because $3 is imminent. You're running a clip while you're talking. You're running a clip. Are you talking about like a YouTube shorts or something? Crawbillies? All good now. Okay. You're running clip while you're talking. All good now. Okay. Good. I'm glad it's good. I'm glad it's good. So, it is kind of what it is. I hope you guys got some stuff set. I know Jungle talks all the time. What did he say? Did he say it $4 or $6? I forget which one. I don't know. I don't know. Can't remember now, but he's going to be taking some chips off the table. Big portion, keeping 20%. I think he said 20 or 30%. It's going to be big numbers. $4 to $6 for a lot of people is just, it's ginormous. Let me see something here. This is a ginormous number for a lot of people. For us who've been in this thing for a minute. See. It's big, big numbers. You know, big time numbers. So we're blessed. We're blessed to be XRP holders. We're blessed to be FLR holders. Um, yeah, pay attention to that Bitcoin dominance, the global M2 supply, like liquidity. Pay attention to that. The biggest signal, is going to be uh, Bitcoin dominance, in my opinion, and the Fed cuts. We get that Fed cuts. We get that liquidity churning. Oh my God. Joe Buddy's going to sell it $3, $4, $5, $6, $7, $8, all the way up to $54 XRP, wherever it stops. Um, Eight sold there, never selling all. I hear you, bro. As long as you got a plan, man. As long as you got a plan, you know, long as you got a plan for sure. It's hard to say what's going to happen, where it's going to go. I don't, I never thought that the ecosystem, the digital asset space would become so diluted, right? This is not your 2017 bull run. It's different. Uh, there's a lot of projects out there, and there's only so much liquidity uh, to go around. Just only so much. So it's going to be, it's going to be interesting to see. Revenue generating protocols, I think, are going to do really, really well because holders are going to have to be rewarded other than just speculation times. Holders are going to go to places where they can be rewarded in bear markets. You know, the meme coins, and it's just every time you turn around, it's a new layer one, a new layer two, and then people build right. You know, people who were once on Ethereum now they got their own chains, right? Unichain and Ondo chain. Just so much. It's just only so much liquidity going on. So it's just you're gonna have to find price appreciation from other than speculation or more value from other than just speculation. Um, because it's just right. The liquidity is just, I mean, the ecosystem is right, and it's just liquidity is just getting going all over the places. Like the meme coin sector is big. Like it's big. It's grabbing up a lot of mind share. It's grabbing up a lot of liquidity. Right? It is. Shoot, they're talking about a meme coin ETF. A meme coin ETF. I think it was Bonk. And Bonk is even changing their meme coin and they, working towards becoming, I think, a layer one and creating other stuff. Yeah. Yeah. My guy Virtual Bacon covered. There's a reason why these L1s are launching because it's looking like the native asset of the layer ones are going to kind of separate themselves from being some possible security as opposed to something with a token built on a layer one might have challenges. So, Joe Buddy, you talk about power rumors. Nope. What rumors? That he may get fired, that he's resigning, that President Trump is going to start announcing who his replacement's going to be while he's still in off, while he still has the helm or still is at the helm of the Federal Reserve. You talking about those rumors, Joe? So, Firelight, you know, if you're interested, certainly want to pay attention, stay up to date. Perhaps consider the Discord, joining that Discord, and yeah, being early to something like that can be a game changer. It's gonna be interesting to see. Look, they haven't launched. Uh, it's gonna be interesting to see what they do. Let me share what I see. Kind of. Let me get Camino Finance up here first. Um, mm, app.camino.finance. Let me pull this up just to kind of give you an idea. Um, Something that Firelight might be doing. Come on, baby. What we got going on here? Hmm. Now this should still come up. What's going on? I got my VPN on, but that should still, it should still churn. Just want to give you an idea. Oh, there it is. Okay. Uh, yeah. Let it load here. Share real quick. See, they got swap, earn is something new. Markets, multiply, liquidity, leverage, and portfolio. Let me show you the multiply. See these different markets here, the ALP and the JLP. This is going to be something very, very similar to what I think Firelight is going to be doing. They got an M Sol loop, which is marinate Solana. B Sol is, goodness, I can't remember what the B Sol is now. I should know it, but I can't remember. Syrup, Maple USDC loop. Just as just kind of an example. I'm gonna see what this leverage is. See here, it says all these volts here. And there'll be different kind of strategies you can use in these volts. And just imagine this being, they got the imagine a lot of XRP or FXRP type stuff here as well. I don't know what stablecoin they're going to use in Flare, probably the USDT zero, but it's going to have a lot of things very, very similar here. What is this leverage? I can't remember if I tried leverage or not. Leverage trade on margin via Camino Lend. So it's just kind of like the perps things going long and short. I did it. I did this a little bit for airdropping only, just kind of building up some liquidity. But this is more advanced stuff. So this is kind of some of the stuff that I see with Firelight. It's not just going to be staking. That is for sure. You see how they got this thing up here? This is a points thing here. I don't have my wallet, but this is a points thing. Um, and their token is KMNO. I don't know what Firelight going to do, if they ever will do a token, but the Maple market, they got the main market here. Got Coinbase, Bitcoin, interesting as well. Um, but yeah, Camino is doing a lot of interesting, novel things, and I think um, I exited my JLP position, and I think Firelight's going to do some interesting strategies from taking from what's Camino has done, what Drift Protocol is doing as well. Probably the same thing like Margin Fi also, but this is going to be available. Things like this is going to be available for XRP holders. I don't know what this earn thing is here. Haven't tried it. I don't know what the Stakehouse is. MEV Capital Solana. Don't know what these are. Haven't checked that out yet. But by the way, they got X stocks, tokenized stocks on Solana already, which is cray cray. So all this stuff is going to come to XRP holders without question. It's just a matter of time. Really, it's just a matter of time. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys hanging out with me in the wee hours in the morning. It's been a really, 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 really cool hang. Huddle strong. Um, Let me know what you think. Do you think what's your percentage of FLR holders that are XRP holders as well? 60%, 70%, 30%? Let me know in the comments. Let me know in the chat here. If you're watching this on replay, let me know in the replay in the comments as well. I kind of feel like 70% of FLR holders are also XRP holders, 70% or more. Um, I'm going to talk about the FLR price in the next live stream kind of people's concerns. We'll talk about that in the next live stream for sure. But yeah, continue to hodl strong. Um, and we're so blessed to be early in this space. We really, really are. Pookie says 70%. Yeah, I think it's 70% FLR holders are also XRP holders. I really, really do. I've had some people ask more about, kind of the A to Z in DeFi, providing liquidity, lending and borrowing. So I'll do another video on that as well. I usually leave that just for the Patreon, but I'll do one for the for you guys as well. Um, for sure. I kind of do it to the Patreon because you do kind of stuff on the main channel. People want to, they can try to, kind of do some blaming stuff. If it doesn't work well, whereas you're doing a Patreon that you usually don't get that because people are paying to learn. So, um, but in any case, I'll do one of those just for sure because we want to level up some stuff. I really want to learn more about these perpetuals and kind of how they work. Um, so I got to figure out who I'm going to learn that from. I'm not really too familiar with it, but that's going to be a thing for sure. This perpetuals are going to be a thing. All right, fam. Thank you so much for hanging out. Again, do me a favor, hit that like button on the way out if you didn't get an opportunity to do so on the way in. That'd be awesome. Again, it helps to get the channel out to more people who, right? I'd say this all the time. We need a new 1%. We really, really do. In the digital asset space, it's leveling the playing field. It's giving the average Joe and the average Jane a chance to win in a new financial system, to beat the hurdle rate of 12%, to own assets without having to go through character judgment nonsense, right? In accredited investor nonsense and, interviews and, all these other different things like that. So it's really, really important. So by hitting the like button, it really helps to get the channel out to more people so they can learn about this new asset class. Appreciate you guys doing that. And if you happen to be in that 55% or so of people that are hanging out, listening to and watching the Crypto Series, do me a favor. If you've been enjoying the Hangouts, please consider subscribing to the channel. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, baby, so that you know whenever we go live or whenever we upload a video. I'm going to end this one like I do all my videos and remind you guys of this. Old money doesn't want you to win. But that's okay, though, because you and we're already winning. And I would ask you to consider this or perhaps ponder the idea or notion of living your life permissionless. I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya. Bye.